And then we have Pakistan. It has often been dubbed as the next Sri Lanka, given the economic mess they're in. And now, just like Sri Lanka, Pakistan too is having trouble with China. Or the other way around. China is the one that's struggling here. All is not well between the iron brothers. The strain is showing there are clear red flags. Let me tell you about the most obvious one. Beijing is yet to host Shehbaz Sharif. It's been 3 months since he took power, and since then, in the last 3 months, he's visited 3 countries, Saudi Arabia, the UAE and Turkey, but no bilateral visit to China. Isn't that strange? It is. And it's not entirely Sharif's fault. His predecessor, Imran Khan, is said to have miffed Beijing. So what did Imran Khan do? He ordered a review of the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CPEC. And this happened soon after Imran Khan took power. He wanted a review. And that's when the relationship soured. Apparently, Islamabad was unhappy with Chinese investments. They had what you call buyer's remorse. Pakistani officials had doubts about Chinese investments. They felt that China overpromised and underdelivered. Among the sticking points are Chinese power producers. Pakistan owes a lot of money to these Chinese power companies, more than $1 billion in the month of May. Of course, Pakistan is unhappy. $1 billion is a lot of money to pay. Plus, Pakistan feels that it's an inflated bill, that Chinese companies are profiteering and overcharging. As per the deal, Chinese companies can only make a 15% profit from power, but the real profit margin is apparently anywhere between 50 to 70%. So Pakistan feels that it was fleeced and it's upset. Well, so is China, but for other reasons. China feels Pakistan was a bad investment destination, and they have 2 clear problems. Number 1, mismanagement of projects, and number 2, lack of coordination. So both sides are basically complaining. And they have reasons to complain. Both sides are at fault, it seems. The all-weather friends now have a dysfunctional partnership, so much so that the Pakistani army is now stepping in to fix things. General Qamar Javed Bajwa made an intervention recently. The Chinese ambassador made a visit to Rawalpindi last week. A day before that, Chinese power companies met with Pakistan's finance minister. They demanded their dues from Islamabad. General Bajwa is said to be mediating to resolve this crisis. And it's in Pakistan's interest to do it quickly. You see, Pakistan has recently reached a bailout deal with the IMF. The IMF has agreed to pay the money, but it has not released the funds. Islamabad wants close to $1.2 billion immediately. This is to avoid a debt default. Why is the IMF not giving them the money? Because of China. The IMF bailout comes with conditions. Pakistan has to renegotiate power deals with China. And until that happens, there will be no bailout. So Pakistan is racing against time. Its army chief has swung into action. He's talking to all stakeholders involved. He spoke to the Chinese ambassador. Last week, he also called Washington, D.C. He spoke to U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Wendy Sherman. Bajwa made an appeal asking the U.S. to push the IMF and help Pakistan get those $1.2 billion. He's been in touch with Pakistan's political leadership as well. He held a meeting with Prime Minister Sharif, along with the Finance Minister of Pakistan. What did they discuss? The severe economic crisis and how they can help the Pakistani rupee recover. So basically, Pakistan's army chief is now serving as a diplomat and an economist too. Will Beijing take General Bajwa seriously? We won't be surprised if they decide to cut their losses. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.